Hi everybody, this is Steve from the Rule Set, and I'm here with Piper.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us for our 10K Q&A. We've also got Remy taking care of the camera behind you.
Hello.
She might pop in once in a while to answer a few questions. Say hi again, go ahead.
Hi.
Yeah, you can probably hear. We got a lot of great questions, like I said, so I kind of want to get to them. We can try and be brisk, because who wants to sit through 12 minutes of us bullshitting? Watch, this is going to be 12 minutes
You
of us
probably will sit through 12 minutes of us bullshitting.
Yeah.
Good for you if you make it till the end.
There's a surprise.
Maybe you'll see butts, I don't know.
There's not a surprise for you.
Okay.
This isn't a fucking Marvel movie. Alright. From Into the Submissive Mind asks right off the bat, how did you get into the lifestyle? Both of us. And that's a great way to start.
Okay, I'll go first, I guess.
Please.
So I was, like I talked about on my blog a little bit, one of those kids who knew that they were into kinky stuff before I was even sexual. Like, I was a creepy little kid. And, I went on an OkCupid date when I got to New York. When I started having sex, I was into really playing with kinky stuff and trying out different things. And when I got to New York and went on an OkCupid date, it was a particularly terrible OkCupid date, but we did go to suspension, and I didn't want to talk to my date, so I talked to everyone else there, and that's how I made all my friends in the scene. Or a good number of them.
I think that's pretty good.
It was very succinct.
Thank you. Well done. When I first answered this question in the wrong take, I went through this whole thing about where my sex came from, but I guess that's not the question. You're talking about the lifestyle, you're talking about the parties. And I feel like that's a better question. I got hit by a car. I questioned all my life choices because I was 2 inches away from death. So I stopped being a pansy, and not that flowers aren't strong and wonderful things, but I stopped being a coward. And I started to embrace the things that I liked, that I had been afraid of for a little while. So I typed in spanking in New York to the Google machine, and I found Spanko parties. And I spent a year there, which is a whole other thing, and I'm not going to go into that now. But then somebody over there told me about FetLife, and I saw these pictures for this party. And I was like, man, everybody looks like they're having a fucking great time at this party. Like, it seems like this is the cool kids party. How do I get into this? Like, am I allowed? And it was an open invitation, and I worked up the guts eventually to just go by myself. And I don't know if you've ever been to a party yourself. Going as a single, male can be a very lonely experience. Not to cry, oh, it's so tough to be male. But
I don't even have to catch him anymore.
Thanks. Hey, I check my privilege more than anybody. I had a great time. People were very welcoming to me, and that was suspension. Here's the killer part. I had such a good time that I stayed till the end, and I noticed that they were having some trouble breaking down. So I volunteered to help. I get 10 million questions asking me how to get into the scene, how to do this, and I'm like, stay and help. Volunteer. Fetish parties are not money-making activities. People are doing this because they want to help and because they want to do this sort of thing for fun, or mostly probably because they want to get laid. But volunteer.
Yeah, people volunteer, and once you volunteer for something and you're good at it, people never let you go, and you make friends very quickly that way.
You're golden. So that's the best, quickest way, is to help. Even if it's not something like just doing something stupid, just help in any way you can.
Learn how to wash dishes and build and break down rigs.
There you go. Firstly, oh my god, yay, Piper.
Oh my god, yay, cheering up Buttercup.
Thank you.
Oh, that's cute.
Secondly, please describe your most awkward encounter with each other.
I love this question. I forgot this was in there again.
Yes.
Even though we just answered it. What is our most awkward
We
encounter?
went with the soap story.
Oh, did we? Oh, no, we didn't. We talked about... Oh, anyway.
Yeah. What do you got?
No,
Remy's got something.
no, it's. I remember what
no.
the story was.
What was the story?
We were having sex on camera,
Yeah.
and the camera kept falling over, and we kept falling over, and we kept laughing, and we couldn't use anything from that whole take because we were laughing too much, and it was too ridiculous.
We had fun though.
We did have fun.
I try not to just have blatant photo shoots. Like, just the stuff that you're seeing, that you guys see on the blog, is usually just like, hey, I'm gonna do this, but let me set up the camera before I do it. Is basically how I try to do things. So, That was pretty awkward, yeah, at that time. I guess we'll do the soap story later, and in whatever question we answered it to first.
We'll get there, don't worry.
What is one thing that Piper does that turns you on, and what is one thing that he does that turns Piper on? Well, soon, at some point, I'm going to make her laugh, and she won't be able to hold it back, and she's going to snort, and it's going to make Steve Urkel look like the picture of refinement, and that gets me hard. It gets me so hard.
That's so mean.
I know. What do I do that turns you on?
This is truth.
Yeah, it's my charm point. All right. Thank you for that kind question, Anonymous. Okay.
I'm anonymous.
Oh, well, we had this question. How did you two meet?
Oh, well, I forgot.
Yeah, you forgot.
No. We were at suspension, and I had a crush on him, and so I asked him to spank me, and was so proud of myself for having so much courage to do it, which feels really silly now. And I was dressed up sort of like an angel, but I didn't wear wings because you don't wear wings to kink parties.
Never wear wings.
Never wear wings.
You're going to be an obnoxious prick
Yeah,
if
just
you wear wings.
don't wear wings. And he was just like a wrestler, right?
No, I was a boxer.
Boxer. Because of the tooth thing. And he caned me a bunch, and then he invited me over to clean his apartment. Well, not
Okay.
invited. I was.
There's some space in there.
Whatever. And then I came over and I cleaned his apartment at some point,
No.
and then we hung out. And then he bought me dinner, and then we hung out.
So, to clarify, after that mess,
It wasn't a mess. It was just
there was
skipping some parts.
a large section of time passed in between us playing at that party and me trying to figure out a way to say, I don't know, I just didn't have confidence like I do these days, you know, like to say like, hey, you want to just go get dinner? Like, you know, you want to hang out? Because here's what I don't think you're realizing, is that like we played for the first time like 5 or 6 years ago, but we started dating 3 years ago.
Sure. Yeah, there was a big period of time in between.
I hadn't talked to her, spoken to her since that first time we played. And it was like, I saw her advertising that she was going around cleaning people's places, if they were willing to pay. And I was like, this is a perfect excuse to talk to this girl again. And so that's what I did.
Mm-hmm.
And really it was just like, I think she only did it once or twice.
Yeah, that's true.
Because at that point it was just like, no, I really just wanted to date you. And whatever. Whatever. Next question.
Aww.
How do you eliminate or deal with jealousy in your union? In my union, well, everybody pays their dues in my union. We all go to the meetings, third Thursday of the month. Anyway.
It's a cute answer.
Thank you. We all carry our cards at all times. You can card anybody. Oh, but in our relationship, yeah, you had a good answer about this.
Oh, I communicate a lot when I'm feeling jealous. I will tell my partner, whoever I'm with, that I'm experiencing jealousy, and not that I necessarily want them to do anything about it, but I'm just very honest and open about my feelings at the time, because it's easier for me to process things out loud with someone, and I always feel better when I get it off my chest. So even if it's not something that's lasting, it's still easier for me to say it out loud and just kind of put it out there. At one point, I was at a party, and this girl showed up who I had never met before, and she was really cute and young, and afterwards, and everyone was a big fan of hers, and afterwards when we left, I was like, I don't like her. And then I was like, actually, what I'm feeling is jealousy, and I'm feeling insecure. And then after that point, I liked her quite a bit, after I got that out of my system.
I have to say, I know I always stress communication, and that's the first thing to do. Like I always say, pretty much like 3/4 of the time, people ask me a question, my answer is, you should communicate, you should tell them, you should blah, blah, blah. But in everything, moderation. And sometimes you need to take a second before you communicate things. For example, I'd say less than a year ago, when Piper here was starting to get serious with her boyfriend, I didn't have any other. I had just gotten out of a relationship, and I didn't have any other regular partners at the time because Frederica had gone off to Europe, and what had been 3 partners was down to 1 who was getting serious with another partner, and I was feeling very lonely. And I wasn't having much luck, and I was feeling insecure. And I felt jealous that I was losing her to this other person who I loved, and I loved even then. But I didn't say anything to her because I knew that it wasn't actually jealousy I was feeling. I spent a few days thinking about it and just dealing with it because I knew it wasn't like a mistrust of her or a situation that would actually develop into something. It was, this is my own insecurity, and I'm going to deal with it myself and not burden her with that if it's just for a few days. And I was able to deal with it eventually, came to terms with it. And then I met this pretty girl who's sitting behind the camera too, and anyway, just as it comes.
Do you want to answer this one, Remy?
I just cry and eat Reese's peanut butter cups.
Solid answer.
There you go.
Solid
Good
answer. In case anyone's wondering, we're drinking Irish breakfast, and I possibly have and will swear quite a bit.
There will be consequences
I'm
later.
sure it will come up.
How old were you when you first had your first partner?
Oh yeah, I was 14, and
What is the longest amount of time you've had a partner for?
for 3.5 years actually, and then 3 years is the next longest time. 3.5 years was my first partner when I was in high school, and stupid, and thought pulling out was a good method of birth control.
I think a lot of people made that mistake, especially in our generation. I think the younger kids are getting better educated. I hope they are. They probably aren't. What am I talking about? How old was I? I was 15. My longest relationship was also in high school, but that was once I was 17 till I was 21. That was 4 years. Yeah, and then after that, since that high school relationship, the longest I've had was 1.5 years. All right, thank you. That was a good question.
Remy, do you want to answer?
I was a week away from my 19th birthday, and my longest relationship was with that person. It was my college boyfriend, and we dated for 3 years.
3 is like the magic number here.
It is. Well, we're all relatively young, so if you're more than 3
Yeah, we're all
years,
almost
that's
the same
yeah.
age. Yeah.
Oh, I thought I was going to marry that guy. 'Cause
Yeah.
19 to 21.
I thought I was going to marry Miss 17 to 21.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to marry the last person I was dating.
We love you. Hi, Piper. How do you feel?
Hi.
How do you feel when Steve takes care of you during the aftercare session?
So disclaimer, we recorded this whole video and it didn't actually record. So we've all talked through this a little bit, so a lot of this is me remembering what I said before. Usually Steve and I don't do heavy aftercare. Usually the heaviest aftercare we do is when he needs aftercare, which involves us just kind of lying around and sometimes he pets my head. But because we learned that, like that, it's very nice, thank you. Because we learned that having sex after eating a ton of fried chicken is a terrible idea, we usually get dinner afterwards. So that's usually our aftercare. And then we come back and eat ice cream and watch Steven Universe.
If every pork chop was perfect, we wouldn't have hot dogs.
Got to use it.
Yeah.
Nice.
She answered that. That's basically it.
I think I'm efficient.
What first attracted you to the fetish scene? I guess we could use this as how long ago does your kink go back to?
I sort of answered this slightly before.
Yeah, okay.
But, no, I can answer again. I was a creepy, kinky little kid who was into inventing adventure games that involved me getting tied up based on Power Rangers. And
It's fucking time!
so funny.
More Dragon Ball Z. I don't know.
And after that, I tried a lot of things with my first boyfriend and then a lot of things with my next partners and knew it was for me. And I'm a big exhibitionist, so stuff in the scene was very appealing to me because then I got to have sex in public.
Alright, that's cool.
Solid.
My first experiences, I knew I was weird and different pre-sexually. I had thoughts of discipline and spanking and such and the like very, very, very early on. Many, many, many years. Not going to say numbers out loud because it's probably not safe to do so. But anyway, I just knew that forever. And also, like, I was a lot more confident in high school than I was right after it. Probably the confidence that you see in me now is closest to what I was like in high school. I had a ton of girlfriends up until that one that lasted for 4 years. I did experimentation with all of them. I spanked every single one of them. We did kinky games all the time. And I was very lucky. And these people played along. These partners I had were great. And they were very caring, and we had a lot of fun. So I was a lucky motherfucker, as always.
Do you want to answer?
No, I'm good.
Sorry.
Funniest experience.
That's the soap story.
That's the soap story.
So Steve was trying new things with domestic discipline and had gotten really good results with a partner by putting soap in her mouth, and he was like, I'm gonna put soap in your mouth to me. I'm gonna put soap in your mouth. I was like, okay, do it, whatever. Because I didn't think it was gonna be that bad. And he put it in my mouth and he walked away, and he came back like 2 minutes later and walked in and he's all like growly, toppy voice. How does it soap taste or something? I don't know, something sexy.
Is that having an effect on you, young lady?
And I was like, not really. It just tasted like soap, and I was like, whatever. And he just burst out laughing and is like dying laughing. We'll just stay there like, it tastes like soap. I don't know, it just tastes like soap. And it was pretty funny. It's pretty good.
My funniest story I will try to whittle down. I'm at suspension. It's 3 a.m. I'm also the DM at suspension. It's 3 a.m. There was this little dom. She was, I'd say, 80 pounds soaking wet and all of 4'11". And she's playing with this guy who was into ABDL. And he has the whole outfit. So he's got like the giant diaper, the sissy bib and everything like that, and the bonnet. Even the bonnet. And booties too, as I recall.
Aww.
He had the little frilly booties. It was good for him. And he's actually a decent dude. So they're playing. It's 3 a.m.
In the middle of the floor.
In the middle of the floor. At suspension, play has priority. Yes, that's annoying, but we'd rather people play and have fun than, just dance. So there's all sorts of music going on. People have lasted, because it's the end of the night, we're down to the last floor. And I see them playing in the middle of the floor, and she's flogging his back. And she's also got a drink in her hand, and she's like going like this as she tips up, and her hand is like moving up, and it starts flogging his head. And so he's like, hey, stop that, hey, stop that. I can't hear this, but I can see him going like, stop that, stop that. He gets up, and they start having a heated exchange. Now at this point I know this is something I have to go intervene in. So I'm making my way through the party like, boom, 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 like trying to get through a packed space at this point of people who are tired and drinking and having a lot of fun. And I get there just as he shoved her, which was a mistake on his part. He shouldn't have shoved her. He shouldn't do that, even though she was all up in his face. Yes, but he shouldn't have touched her. I get in between them just as he reaches back and goes to cock him right in the face, and she lands that square on my jaw. And if she weighed more than 80 pounds, it might have hurt. But yes, I took a punch for the guy in the diaper, and that's my funniest story.
I love that story.
It's my go-to usually. Cool. That was a question from Cute Frosting.
Aw, Cute Frosting.
Thank you, Cute
name.
Frosting. Thank you very much. There's a lot of space in between this. Oh, here we go. Oh, we got a couple of questions.
Ooh.
Would you and Piper ever play together with a special guest star?
We have, and we probably will again.
Plenty of times. What is the funniest thing that has ever happened to you and Piper during a scene?
That was the soap story.
That was the soap story.
Damn it. Now I don't get to tell my other story.
What's your other story?
About New Year's.
Go for it.
This is not me and Steve. This is a question I answered for a different question later on because a lot of people want to know funny things. On New Year's this year, I was having sex with my boyfriend, and we got back to his place. We had been out at parties, but we got back to his place, and we were having sex, and we heard all these people outside, and he lives on a high-up apartment, so we were like, oh, let's go fuck on the fire escape, whatever, let's fuck on the fire escape. And we go out on the fire escape, and he's like fucking me from behind, and I started yelling, oh, fuck me harder, daddy, fuck me harder. And then we hear a noise, and we both turn and look, and his neighbor is leaning out of the window, smoking a cigarette, and he's looking at us with giant eyes, and he just like turns and goes back in his apartment with the cigarette and just shuts the window. Oh, we were both laughing after that. So that's another funny story for
Good
you.
reaction. Good reaction. What was it about Piper that made you hire her to clean her so you could talk to her? Have you seen this? Have you seen this?
Oh.
Have you seen this? And was Piper into you before that?
Oh.
We answered that as well.
We did answer that.
Thank you.
I don't think we answered that.
Oh, yes, we did. You said you had a crush on me.
I did. I did have a crush on you. I
There
thought
you
I
go.
was so brave talking to you. Which
You
feels
were.
really dumb now.
Yeah. Yeah, well, hindsight's 20/20. Hi, Piper.
Hi!
What's your most favorite dirty talk Steve has ever said to you during sex?
I literally don't remember. I get a lot of dirty talk during sex, and I like it all. It goes between, depending on my mood, like something misogynistic or something objectifying and dehumanizing a little bit, or sometimes sweet, weird, creepy stuff. Depends on the day.
What about you, Remy? What's your favorite dirty talk I've said to you?
Am I allowed to say anything? I don't.
Yeah, say it. Do it.
I don't want to.
That's okay.
Is this stuff that we deem too hot for TV?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, okay. Too hot for TV.
Yeah.
That's pretty much everything.
That's everything.
We did a much better job getting through that. Good job.
Damn, son.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Remy, for your help. And I hope you guys have a great day and keep on enjoying the things that we have to come. All right? Bye.